So right now we are getting the ferrets ready to take them to the vet. It's their annual appointment. I'm gonna take all 4 of them to get their shots and their flea medicine. Let's do it. My 2 girl ferrets ended up not getting their vaccinations, and by the time I left the office yesterday, all 4 of my ferrets are now vaccine exempt, where my vet doesn't think it's smart or worth the risk to vaccinate any of them. Let's talk about Lucy and Ruby, but more specifically I want to talk about Lucy. So after Weasel scared the heck out of all of us, Lucy was in the middle of getting her examination when Weasel started having reaction to the vaccination. While the doctor was examining Lucy, she discovered that her lymph nodes were swollen. All of them. Not one, not the 2 in the front, not the 2 in the back, all of them. I did not notice it. The vet showed me how to feel them, and then we compared them to one of the ferrets that did not have the swollen lymph nodes. So she's just kind of sleeping right now, and as soon as I mess with her, she'll probably stop. But if you see, so right up underneath their arms, can I see your arms? I want to show them. Underneath, she's not gonna let me do it. Come here, let's roll you over. Come here. No? Okay, all right. Like right here is a lymph node, right there, and then back underneath here, and that's where their lymph nodes are. So right back here, and then right up underneath in here, and there's another set. Oh, you falled over. Right out the gate, the vet says to me, I'm pretty confident that she probably has lymphoma. Now, obviously, she cannot say that with certainty because we didn't do any testing. So at the time, I was super cool and calm as a cucumber because in some weird way, I had this gut feeling yesterday before I left to go to the vet, like this was a bad idea. I just had a gut feeling something was not going to be right. Sadly, I have 4 ferrets who are coming up on being 3 or 4 years old, like who are about to be 4. And unfortunately, knowing what I know about ferrets and how susceptible they are to certain types of diseases, there's 3 particular that stick out and probably affect the majority of ferrets that get sick and die from diseases, not the ones that die from natural causes. That's adrenal disease, it is insulinoma, and some form of cancer. So, after feeling her lymph nodes, the vet absolutely would not vaccinate, and I didn't want her to. And the reason that is because the vaccination could anger the cancer. If Lucy does have cancer, and there's a high probability that she does, it could make it mad and cause it to have a reaction completely different. It could cause it to spike or just start to grow. It's not good. My vet just did not want to touch it. So we did not vaccinate Lucy. And we did discuss some options as far as what are the next steps, knowing the information that I know about Lucy and knowing that she's not showing any symptoms, that she is eating, she is not lethargic, she is very playful, she's exactly her normal self. And that is probably why I didn't notice her lymph nodes. She wasn't very overweight, or she wasn't overweight at all. She had not lost any weight. She does everything as she has been doing it the whole time I've had her. So there is no signs, which is also not uncommon, especially if it's not something that has taken over and has gotten to the point where it's causing any kind of visible or physical symptoms that I'm able to notice. I think one of the main reasons that I haven't fully processed this information is because we have not done anything to definitively confirm that she has lymphoma. Lymphoma in ferrets is fatal. You cannot cure it. There are ways to treat it which provide a better quality of life and may extend life a tad, but it is ultimately a death sentence for ferrets. Most ferrets live anywhere from 6 to 12 months. Some can live longer, but at the end of the day, there is no way to fix this if she does have lymphoma. What's sad is that she's 3. What freaks me out is that she has no symptoms at all. That I don't know. So basically I need to get her tested, and I intend to do that. I love my vet very much. She's very sweet. She's very knowledgeable. I personally don't feel like she sees a whole lot of ferrets, and I really just want her seen by another vet. And so I'm probably going to take Lucy back to Maryland to our original vet, because I have always had a great connection with them. And when Weasel has an emergency or anything emergency-wise comes up, I absolutely do not take them where I live. I absolutely put them in the car and drive them to Maryland if that's possible. Here's the thing that also has me questioning the diagnosis a little bit. We go to do Ruby to do her examination, and while she has swollen lymph nodes in the back, but only in the back. So that nixed her off of the vaccination list as well. What worries me is that I find it very ironic that both of my girls would have swollen lymph nodes at the same time, and it one be cancer and one the vet didn't seem very concerned about, like it could have been a small infection or something. So the thing that made me really feel like it, or I guess I should say the thing that makes me hold out hope that maybe it's not lymphoma is the fact that lymphoma mimics so many other illnesses. Like swollen lymph nodes could mean so many other things. There's a list. Like my veterinarian gave me a huge like pamphlet of a brand new study that came out about lymphoma, and it says right in this study, it gives a list. It's important to it's a differential diagnosis for lymphoma in ferrets, because until a definitive diagnosis is reached, it says lymphoma is considered the great imposter. It can look like almost any disease, and it should always be kept on the differential list, table 1, until a definitive diagnosis is reached. Unfortunately, this probably also means that lymphoma is widely overdiagnosed if this conclusion is not based on a cytological or histological diagnosis. And then it goes on to list the other diseases that mimic the symptoms of lymphoma. You know, the truth is that there's that, and then you have Ruby, who has swollen lymph nodes in the back, and it just seems very strange to me that both of my girls would just end up, it just doesn't make sense. Now, my vet did not seem to think that Ruby's swollen lymph nodes were cancer. She just kind of chalked that up to maybe she had, was reacting to something. And she also said that Lucy could be reactionary. Like maybe there's something outside or something that, you know, in the air that's causing a reaction that would cause her lymph nodes to swell. The thing that my concern is I really feel like I need to know more. And I feel like I was left, guessing whether or not, like nobody really knows for sure. And I don't know about you, but I can't live like that. I have to know. Like I have to know, does she or does she not have it? And if she doesn't have it, then that's wonderful. And if she does, then I want to know so I can make the next correct informed decision. I'm not certain what I would do. You know, if chemotherapy doesn't, if none of the treatments cure her, any decision that I make moving forward for treatment would be based on how that would affect her quality of life. It's not worth it to me to put her through a chemotherapy or any treatment like similar, or just any treatment at all, if the side effects of the treatment are going to be severe, and then she's left living a not a healthy, or not a good quality life, to receive a treatment that is literally only going to prolong life and not cure her. Like it's going to prolong the inevitable, but it's not going to prolong it substantially enough where she wouldn't die prematurely. So for me to make an educated decision on the next right steps for her and make sure that she's living the best quality of life without being in pain or suffering, then I need a definitive answer. So my vet recommended, especially after Ruby having swollen lymph nodes in the back, that we wait a little bit and see if they go down. And then I can always make the decision to have them tested or have Lucy tested to see if it's cancerous. I am already in the process of scheduling a second opinion. They're my babies. I have to know what's going on, and I have to make sure that she's okay. She is not acting any different. She's completely normal. Everything is normal. I had no idea that's how normal she's being. So for me, this was all very shocking. It was scary at the same time. And for as freaked out as I probably should be, I have this odd calm feeling, which means for me, one of two things: I'm processing this not at all, or I just am kind of taking it in, and until I know something for sure, I can't react. I just don't know my brain doesn't know how to react. So there's that. But I will keep you guys updated. I will let you know what is happening, what I find out, what my decision is, what decisions I make, and I will keep you all informed as I go.